Hello world, and welcome back to Minecraft Memoir. This is episode 29. In the last episode, we worked on installing this large span here. I did say that in between last episode and now, I would finalize this whole design, but I did not. I'm kind of lazy. I think I'll work on that in between this clip and the next. But instead, I worked on installing this last bit of bridge here. I think it looks pretty good. It's not finished, and it follows pretty much the same build rules as the railway past over there. I also got it connected to the house. I can't remember if I did this last episode or in between, but we got a booster put in here, so I can actually ride it all the way to the house. You can see here I put in this little tunnel I was talking about. Haven't finished designing it. I kind of wanted to talk to you before I did. But it connects here, like I said. I put a booster in. It's only 4 blocks instead of the typical 5, but it gets us to where we need to go. Really just gets us to that next booster there, which will get us up and over and on our way. So now what I would like to do is I would like to finish designing this little tunnel here. There is, I think, 5 or 6 blocks from here to the other side of the hill. So I might widen this whole thing out by 1 block. So it's 5 instead of 3. It's a bit narrow here. And, I want like every room that we build, not just to serve a single function. Like I want to look at least a little pretty too. So I made the floor cobblestone to kind of connect to here, but I might change that up still. Because the bridge over there is wood. You can see here it does bust out of the wall, so we're going to have to build up a little bit here. But you can also see it does actually run into our roof here. So that being the case, I was thinking I'd build on another little roof just for this hallway here. It'll probably be just a, let's see if I can probably be one of these guys. Honestly, it might be pretty much in line with, well, pretty much in line with this little dirt one I built 2 blocks back from this. So I think it'll look pretty good. It'll be, another little stacked roof. The whole thing kind of gives that modular look I was talking about way back when we built the house. So yeah, I think I will probably widen this out a little bit, get a sort of roof installed. And then I'll, probably continue designing here. And maybe if I'm feeling busy, I'll start doing that over there too. All right, so I got a little carried away with the building here. I haven't finished, but I almost did, and then I was like, maybe I should show them before I actually finish. So this is what I have so far. It's pretty standard, follows almost the exact same build rules as the inside of the house. I keep saying build rules. I think I should come up with a different term. It is build rules, but like I've said that so many times. So here's what it looks like from the outside. Again, oh wow, okay. Just let that happen. So here's what it looks like from the outside. I think it's pretty nice. I don't know, it might actually be a little too busy now. I might have to do something to, clean it up because it just feels like now it's too many roofs, which I didn't think I could have, but lo and behold, I now have too many roofs. Regardless, I'm going to continue doing these exact same roofs on that side. And after a bit of building, here is what I came up with. The design is pretty consistent. I think it looks pretty good. I might bring these posts here and here out one, just make this not as flat. But otherwise, I think it looks really good. And from the inside, I'll come on in here. It doesn't really obstruct the view down here, which I am glad for. Because I wanted to put a little amphitheater there, like I have mentioned multiple times. And it just goes a little in front, but doesn't really obstruct that view. So we're pretty much done. I'm gonna build some houses around the boosters, I think. I said I was gonna put fences, but little, I don't even know what you'd call them, like booster huts. Yeah, little booster huts would be kind of cool. So I'll do that later, though. This isn't the time. I've been working on this for way too long. So what I think we're gonna work on now is something new, finally. Oh man. So over here, I have a spawner. I'm pretty sure we saw this together in one of the earlier videos. It's right here. I came back and confirmed the type. It is a skeleton spawner, which is very nice. Probably my favorite kind of spawner. Right now, in this early version of the game, skeletons only drop arrows. Just get rid of these. They only drop arrows. I believe in beta 1.2, it's updated so that they also drop bones. So we're a little ways off from there, but an arrow farm will be handy nonetheless. And later on, it'll be an arrow and a bone farm. So I'm thinking we'll make this just your typical mob grinder. I was thinking we might try to use like pistons to make it like manual versus automatic. I don't know how well that'll work out because I'm not really sure how redstone works in these early versions. I usually for spawner farms use like elevators with water and signs. I also don't know how that works in this version, if it does. So we'll see. So to start, I suppose I should explain how these spawners work. This is my knowledge from later versions, but I don't think spawners changed all that much from, Alpha 1.2.6 to full release versions. So I'm pretty sure a spawner will spawn mobs in a 9x9 centered on this, and then it'll spawn 2 blocks up and 2 blocks down. So to start making a mob farm, what I usually do is I figure out what a 9x9 would be. So it would be 4 blocks on all sides of the spawner. And there. And then I clear out this area. And then I dig up 2 blocks. Usually it's, not actually needed to be dug up, but over here I'll have to dig up. And then I'll dig down 2 blocks. So let me do that. Now I should probably mention, a spawner doesn't actually spawn on a 9x9 centered on this, and then like a, 2 blocks down, 2 blocks up. From what I can remember, it's actually based on like some region and like northwest coordinates of the spawner. I don't really know exactly how it works, but what I do know is that to ensure that you're getting all the spawning spaces for this, the region that I'm digging out right now is the best. Like it'll definitely get all those spawning spaces in this area. So you want to be careful that you keep everything lit in here, because I was mining into one of these corners and it decided to spawn a skeleton right in front of me. If you notice, I lost some hearts. Okay, almost got murked by those nighttime mobs, but it's all good. So you can see here, I'm pretty particular when I make a mob farm. So I like to make all the walls cobblestone or some other material. I usually use stone bricks, but unfortunately they're not in this version yet. So now we have to figure out where we want the mobs to go. I'm thinking we might have them go this way, because it goes down here. So it would be kind of cool to have a little tunnel going down this way. So I feel like I say so a lot. I'll try not to. You can see I don't have blocks here. That was because I was still waiting to figure out which direction I wanted to go. But since we're going this way, I'll fill in these ones. Cool. So now what you want to do, if you didn't know, in Minecraft, water flows 8 blocks. So typically, I feel like this is a design from somebody, but unfortunately, I don't know who it is. So if anybody knows, feel free to comment. But since water flows 4 blocks, what you can do is construct a, if any skeleton spawn, I will die. So I gotta be careful. But you construct a center channel here. And since you've got 4 blocks here, you have water flow down into this channel and stop right on this block, which means we need to go back 4 blocks here. So since I already have 1 block, we'll go 2, 3, 4. Now we go 1, 2. I think this is 9. I probably should have kept counting it out loud, but I don't love when people count out loud. So, and then you mine all these bottom blocks here. Now, unfortunately, I was not smart enough to grab a second bucket, so let me go do that. Okay, so ran home, got another water bucket, got some food, got all healed up. So, you want to be careful before you put any water in that you are well torched up, because all these torches on the ground will get knocked off. So I put some more on the walls here. I think we should be safe with the amount that I've got. So you also want to make sure that there's no like too high spaces here, because then something could spawn back here. But you'll simply just fill in with water here, and it'll continue making infinite sources if you space it correctly. And it should look like this, yes. And now before you leave, you want to fill in this row here, because again, you don't want anything spawning. And you see it'll flow down into this hole here. Hang on a second. It made me kind of jump. I hope that doesn't... No, okay, we're fine. So yeah, let me mirror that on the other side. So the reason why I like making all the walls and ceiling cobblestone, or usually stone bricks, is because if I accidentally break into it like I've done here, I'll be able to see like, oh, okay, that's clearly something I've built, so I'll leave it alone. Otherwise, you know, if you leave it as the regular blocks, you might just think it's some random part of the landscape, and suddenly you've got a bunch of skeletons all over you. So just something to keep in mind. Cool. So we've now got both sides flowing to the center here. Now what you need to do is figure out where you want the center channel to go. And by you, I mean me. And I do not have an idea. So typically for that, I try to figure out how far down do the mobs need to fall, and at what line, what coordinate line is this running. So you can see here it's at x509. Since we're standing at y83.62, or y82, if you didn't know, skeletons can fall 22 blocks without dying. They can fall 23, and it'll be the exact amount they need to die. So given that, and since I decided we're going to do a little, whole channel down here, I started digging out where I need to go. So I need to be in line with X509, and 83.62 minus 22 is 61.62. So we're in a good spot here. I can go pretty much any of this direction, any of the Z direction I want, because I think we're a decent amount away. Let me just check. Gotta run all the way up, back and down, back and down. So let's see. Our Z is at maximum 138, so I can go anywhere up to 138. Thankfully, we're not doing a mob elevator. I thought we would, but I think it looks better without one. So yeah, we got a whole 10 blocks here. So I think, what? if this is going to be the center, or no. Yes, this will be the center. I think we'll build out probably 5 blocks this way and then 5 blocks that way. Okay, so I built down the room there, but I'm realizing now that I actually made a bit of a mistake here. So one of the requirements for mob spawners to work is you have to be within, I think, 16 blocks of them for them to spawn mobs, which means that the room down there, if we stayed down there, we won't actually get any spawns. If we stand like right here, we'll get spawns, but then we would have to run all the way down, so we couldn't like AFK here or anything. So that being the case, I think I'm going to patch up the hole there. We'll just not use that room. Instead, I will go with what I was initially thinking, using a mob elevator. Word. So since we're using a mob elevator, it doesn't really matter where I put the room. So I'm gonna start working in here instead. So since water flows 8 blocks, it'll flow all the way to here, meaning that this block needs to go down 1. Because of that, I'm gonna break this block here, because skeletons will like to jump, or really any mob will like to jump in water. So if there was a block here, they would potentially get their head stuck on it before they went through, which would slow down our rates a little bit. So I'm just going to leave this 3 blocks tall, I think. It doesn't really matter how long we make this, so let me see if there's any outside requirements I might have, and then we'll dig out this channel. Alright, so I've decided that we'll have the mob elevator at Z143. No particular reason. I feel like it's far enough away that the skeletons won't like bunch up and the spawner can keep going while this works. And it's close enough where I can stay pretty close by and still get the spawner to work. Okay, so for the sake of falling a million times, I built this chute off camera. Really, it's just a 24 or 23 block high chute, just barely tall enough so that the skeletons will die on impact. But if I want to change it later on to only be 22, that'll be easy. The location is completely arbitrary. I just put it here because I'm pretty sure this is close enough. What if I'm at 514, 142? And the spawner is at 509, so that's 5. And then 133, so that's 9. 5. Oh, geez. I gotta use some linear algebra. 5 squared, so 25 plus 81 is 106. So it's just over 10, which is less than 15. So we are close enough if we stand right here. And I think we're probably close enough if we stand here, which is really where I want it to be. So now what we need to do is put the water and signs in. The idea here is that I'll have water flowing here, and skeletons will naturally want to jump in water. So the water will flow all the way up to here, and then you can see they'll jump up and go straight through this water. So what you do is a water, sign, water, sign, water, sign, and so on pattern, all the way up to the top. Once you get to the top, you just have, oh god, it's moving so slow. You have a water stream flow from here to here, and you just put a sign right there before it gets to the chute, and they will naturally just swim in and fall down. It's really easy. I really hope this works. Coolio. So if I build this right, all I need to do now is just put the last bit of water in and knock these torches down, which is also the most dangerous part. So let's see if I can do this without getting murked. I think we'll punch out these corner torches first. Down this middle column. this is, I can already feel like this is just, this is not gonna go well. Okay, just gotta be quick about it. No. No, no. Yeah, keep him on the other side. Oh. Okay, we're fine, Okay. This, and then, oh, I'm so gonna die. Oh, no! Okay, let me run back. Oh, let me cart back. You know, as mad as I am about dying, I'm really glad the viaduct and railway system are actually getting use. I mean, this is why we built it, so we can get back before we lose our items. Oh yeah. So I got the last of the blocks in there punched out. I think might want to take one more peek just to check. Yeah, totally dark. And we've already got our first spawns here, so it is working. I am so glad. I'm gonna AFK here a little bit, figure out what our spawn rates and drop rates are gonna be, and then I'll be back. Okie dokie. So I let this spawner run for exactly an hour. I wanted to try to get it as accurate as I could. I know it doesn't really matter, like calculating all the numbers for this, but I enjoy doing the math, so I am a math guy. So in exactly an hour, we got 8 stacks and 7 arrows, which comes out to 519 arrows. So let me throw some numbers at you. So skeletons drop between 0 and 2 arrows. This spawner tries to spawn 4 mobs every 10 to 39.95 seconds, which means that in an hour, this spawner would have spawned somewhere between 360 and 1,440 skeletons. Which would give us somewhere between 0, which is really low chance, and 2,880 arrows per hour. So, you know, somewhere in between. We'd probably expect to get probably 1440 arrows if we were hitting, you know, 1 arrow every time. But since we got 519 arrows, that means that if we average, you know, 1 arrow per skeleton, we got 519 skeletons. And that means we actually got on the low end of spawns here. Now, I'm not sure what could improve the spawns in this thing. I believe it's that the skeletons aren't leaving this chamber fast enough, so it'll try and, or it'll delay its spawn. I'm not 100% sure on how it works. But I think it's just that the skeletons aren't leaving fast enough. It doesn't really matter to me. You can see I think I just got 12 arrows. 13? 14? Nope, 15. So it does run decently fast, and I'm probably never going to use all these arrows here. You see I have a few arrows actually in this chest. Thanks to a awesome creeper coming in, I had to run this test again from scratch because he blew up a little bit of this this here spawner. And what is this? The chute. So now that we know the thing runs at least, I don't think I'll mess around trying to get it to improve with its rates. I'll try to dress it up. Now, I would really like a creeper spawner, or not a creeper spawner, but a just general mob spawner so that we can get creeper spawns, so that we can get gunpowder. Because I feel like gunpowder is probably the most useful out of the current drops. You know, feathers, gunpowder, arrows, and if we want to include spiders in this spawner, then string. I feel like gunpowder's the most useful, or at least the hardest to get. So either A, I'll start working on a regular mob spawner, or B, we'll dress this up here. All right, so I recorded that last clip pretty late last night, and I didn't realize that we were actually at the end of the video. So we will be doing neither of those things today. I definitely think next episode I'm going to clean this up and make it look nicer because I was really tired when I was building this, so I didn't I didn't really dress it up. I didn't make any convenient way of getting up here, both of which I would normally have done. So next episode, or maybe in between episodes, I'll try to clean it up. But next episode, we'll finish this up and I don't know, maybe start looking at a just regular mob spawner. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.